Hello. Hello. I'm so happy to be here with you today sharing tip 34 from Aletha Solter's book, Raising Drug-Free Kids. I'm T, your joyful parent guide and harmonizer. And yesterday I shared tip 33, which was allow your child to express fear and anger. And today we are on the penultimate, the second to the last tip in the chapter on children, that's specifically for children between the ages of 3 and 6. And the tip is teach your child how the human body works. Now, I want to take the opportunity. Well, first of all, if you're listening to the replay, hashtag replay. Please let me know that you were here. I would love to say hello and answer any questions. And also you could do hashtag ease, because we are all about creating more ease for ourselves as parents and with our children. So before I get into some of the very specific tips in the book that she has for teaching your child how the human body works, I want to say something overall that would have helped me for sure as a parent of children 3, 4, 5, 6, and I know would have helped many others that I've witnessed too. When our children are less than 6 years old, and in some books, some scientists say less than 7. So at about the age of 6 until about the age of 6, their brain waves are the same as someone who's being hypnotized. Okay, it's that same kind of slow brain wave that's almost like you can just unconsciously slip something in there and it's unconscious, like they're not necessarily going to remember a lot of what happens between the age of 0 and 6, right? So I hear a lot of times, and I know I said myself when my kids were much younger, oh, they won't remember that anyway. That is so opposite of what would be useful for us to keep in mind as parents, because while they might not consciously remember something, if they don't consciously remember it, chances are it's coming in and it's just landing. It's like, kind of like if we're unconscious of, we're going out in the woods and then we somehow contract some kind of a parasite, but we don't know it. It's more dangerous if we don't know it. So that is what I want to impart to you here today. That's my addition to this, is when they're this young, they might not remember. They might be too young. We might think they're too young. Actually, they're not too young to start learning about how the human body works. We'll get into it. And another thing that I often hear, and I hear, I don't remember this being a thing for me, because Montessori sort of takes advantage of and recognizes the fact that kids this age want to do things. It's joyful for them to do things that they see grown-ups doing, that they see much older, bigger, taller humans doing. So it's joyful for them to, try to be cutting vegetables, or it's joyful for them to learn how to set the table. All of these things are actually joyful at this age. So when I hear parents or grandparents say, oh, let them play, you only get to be kids once, and the kids are this age, that's the adult mindset overlaying and sort of having great intentions, but not really recognizing what the child actually is ready for and wants at this age. So that is my overlay here. And that is an understanding that Aletha has when she says, teach your child how the human body works. They are going to have questions. They have a lot of questions about where things come from and where do things go, like our food, right? Like, well, what happens once we eat it? We can start, and she suggests too, that we start with, the digestive system if they have questions, or even if they don't sometimes. We can start a conversation at dinner time about, our food. We chew it and it gets broken down a little bit and then it goes to our stomach. And I won't get into all of the physiology. She does go into it in the book a little bit more, at least at this age appropriate level. My anatomy and physiology is not necessarily the best, so I might have to brush up to in order to address this age group. Maybe not this age group, but something a little bit higher. So we can talk about digestion. We can talk about how the heart pumps blood, and the blood carries the nutrients to all the different parts of our body, to our fingers and our arms and our legs. She says also, about the air that we breathe and how important that is to breathe clean air, and it's better for our body if we're breathing clean air. Talking about the brain and how important the brain is, and how the brain has parts that are that regulate different things, that help us move, that help us feel things, that help us think, and emphasizing how important our brain is can also be a very strategic thing at this age. Emphasizing the wisdom, the overall wisdom of our body is a very strategic message to be sending to kids at this age, because, like I said, it's going to land in a deeper way, in an unconscious way that will grow and will be able to be built upon when they get to be 6, 9, 12. And so in the theme of raising kids who are more resilient to things like drugs, things that are not good for them, if they have a great appreciation for the wisdom of their body, then they will want to take good care of their bodies. If they have a wonderful sense for how magnificent their brain is, then they may think twice before they do anything that's going to alter their brain. Or if they do something, they will have a better appreciation. Like, if they eat too much sugar or chocolate or what have you, we can make these connections between what we take in and how our body responds. So I love this tip, number 34. And I'm so glad that and it's no accident, of course, that Aletha has it in this chapter on, when they're very young, 3 to 6. And so we have only one more tip tomorrow, number 35, in the 3 to 6. And then we're going to be moving on to the larger age group, the 6 to 12 age group. So until then, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I look forward to what you have to share and what questions you may have about this tip. Bye for now.